welcome to the celebration of a long journey's end, the graduation of the class of 2017. My name is David Sturrock, proud principal at Petaluma High. Every year we recognize a teacher who's made a special contribution to the life of the school, and every year it's a hard choice. There are amazing teachers at Petaluma High. This year's Teacher of the Year from Petaluma High is Lillian Granger. You're a highly loved and amazing teacher. Thank you, Lillian. Now I'd like to introduce Guadalupe Hernandez Martinez to welcome our guests today in English and Spanish.
We are lucky to find ourselves in the little town of Petaluma, attending Petaluma High School. A high school with people from different backgrounds and stories. Stories that make us unique, stories that shape us and change us to reach our full potential. En los tiempos como estos, cuando el mundo está rodeado de odio y opresión, nosotros estamos afortunados de estar en este pueblito chico de Petaluma, asistiendo a la Petaluma High School. Una high school que tiene gente de diferentes fondos y historias que nos forman y nos cambian para alcanzar nuestro potencial. Just yesterday, we were counting down the seconds until school is over and ending, only to realize there will be a beginning again for all of us next year. We will soon be saying our heartbroken goodbyes to old friends, only to realize that new friends are waiting across our path. Ayer anduvimos contando los segundos hasta que la escuela se termine, nada más para recordar que va a estar ahí otra vez el siguiente año. Ya mero vamos a estar diciendo adiós a nuestros viejos amigos, nada más para recordar que hay nuevos amigos que vamos a conocer en el futuro. No se olviden de sus raíces aunque la gente nos mire diferente, no se olviden de la gente que se sacrificó para que estén aquí hoy este día. Espero la mejor suerte para todos en la vida para alcanzar todas sus metas. And so I greet you in English and Spanish, all of us together here to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2017. I wish everyone the best of luck in conquering all your goals. Thank you. And now, please welcome Mario Vasquez Garcia, the president of the class of 2017. Mario will be attending UC Merced in the fall and will be majoring in political science.
I want to say how honored I am to be standing in front of you today. Thank you to all staff, teachers, administration, and anyone who helped us get here today. Just a couple years ago, we walked into high school shy, timid, and excited, yet scared for a future. Now we are sitting here today with our future doctors, dentists, lawyers, scientists, parents, and more. It's crazy to think that all of our political leaders and heroes started as normal people, as just one of you and me. Today's graduation will be the first step into our future. However, it will take sweat, hard work, and even tears. I owe a lot to Petaluma High School for preparing me for the world by giving me skills and a voice. I am thankful for all the opportunities, great experiences, and even helping me receive a full ride to college. Not only that, but I'm thankful for all the connections I made here and all the lifelong friends I will have. We will not be remembered by our grades or our popularity. Our legacy will stand with the relationships we create with one another. To achieve success, it's not about recognition or money, but to leave those whom we cross paths with more courage, happiness, and a smile. I know we all don't share the same struggles, but I'm pretty sure we all have the same goal, to have a great future. We all have gone through being put down, ignored, or even bullied. I would like to thank all of you who taught me it's okay to be different, and that no matter what, there will always be people to overlook those differences. I am one of 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the shadows of the United States. One of millions looking for a brighter future and a brighter life. This is the only country I know, and this is the only country I call home. Not all undocumented immigrants are dangerous criminals or anything like that as certain individuals portray them. Many have no voice, live in fear, work extremely hard, and yet get paid a lot less. They are just simply trying to do their best with what they have. We all have more similarities than differences. We all want to aspire to be great human beings, and we all want the best for our families. Just a reminder, we are all descendants from immigrants and revolutionaries. Give me your tired, give me your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. That's a quote that I like from the Statue of Liberty. This is the land of opportunity and success that we can all achieve. Senior class of 2017, it was a pleasure knowing all of you. It is now our turn to take on the world and grasp our dreams. Thank you, and good luck out there.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, choir. Please welcome our salutatorian, the class of 2017. It's Phoebe Golden.
Good morning. Welcome, class of 2017, parents, friends, relatives, and staff. I'd like to start with a sincere thank you to a group of people who have shaped our time here, the teachers. You're probably going to hear that a lot today, but I don't think it can be said enough. We are very lucky to have some incredibly dedicated, hardworking, and inspirational teachers here at PHS who do so much more than they are required to in order for us to have the best education possible. I've had several of these outstanding teachers during my time here, and I'll be very sad to say goodbye to them. I looked at a lot of graduation speeches while I was trying to write this one, which turned out to be quite intimidating because they're all by people with a lot of life experience. I don't have any more life experience than any of the rest of you, or a particularly wise perspective to offer on the world. So I'm going to borrow a quote from someone who does, J.K. Rowling. She gave a speech a couple years ago in which she said, "Imagination is not only the uniquely human capacity to envision that which is not. In its arguably most transformative capacity, it is the power that enables us to empathize with humans whose experiences we have never shared." It may seem a little silly to be talking about imagination at a high school graduation, but sometimes the best solutions are the ones we learn earliest. As Rowling suggests, imagination is what allows us to see the world through someone else's perspective and understand that our way of looking at the world is not the only way. I think we can all agree that the world is a pretty crazy place to live right now, although we might think that for different reasons. Our generation faces a host of challenges. Climate change, social unrest, and war are just a few, and we are divided in many ways on how to solve these issues. Empathy is one of the most important skills we can use as we try to understand our changing world and the people we share it with, who may be very different from us. We didn't all do the same things in high school. None of us shared exactly the same experiences, with the exception of many nights with not enough sleep. But we were all going out into the same world, which is both exciting and mildly terrifying. I hope we can all use a little imagination in our futures and have a little empathy. Congratulations to you all, and best of luck.
Thank you, Phoebe. This year, we're honored to recognize two valedictorians, or co-valedictorians. It's Camille Leone and Annalise Wolf. Please help me welcome Camille Leone to the stage.
The world is a dangerous place to live. Not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Albert Einstein. We all have the potential to live with integrity. The choice is ours. Thank you.
And now, our other valedictorian, it's Annalise Wolf.
Welcome parents, faculty, friends, family, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. First of all, I'd just like to say that we've all been imagining this day since freshman year, so I can't believe this day has come. Congratulations, we finally did it. When writing my speech, I couldn't stop thinking about a question Mr. Cox asked us on the first day of my junior year in my statistics class. He asked us, which has a bigger impact in our lives, chance or choice? So for the next couple weeks, I kept thinking of events and whether they are chances or choices and how they impacted me. But eventually I realized that deciding whether choice or chance has a bigger impact really doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, chances will still be the things we cannot control, and choices always will be. So after I decided this, I focused on my choices and what I could do to minimize the bad effects of the chances. Although they didn't realize this at the time, I was able to learn this from two people that are dedicated Petaluma High School teachers and alumni, Shereen and Kevin Jackson. Last November, Mrs. Jackson was diagnosed with breast cancer. Our class watched our government teacher, Mr. Jackson, experience the expected emotions of sadness and fear. We had to learn that when he came to class without his glasses on, it meant that he wasn't going to make it through the class without crying. Even then, he continued to come with his positivity and humor every single class while prioritizing our curriculum. Despite going through his most difficult time, not one member of our class felt as though we were not being properly prepared for our AP test. He also continued to prioritize his family. To try and help, my friends and I offered to babysit their children during this time. He responded with tears filling his eyes that although he appreciated our offer, he was trying to keep his kids' lives as similar as possible to how they were before. And when the doctor noted that Mrs. Jackson's stage of cancer was 2B, being the witty English teacher she is, she responded, "To be or not to be." When Mr. Jackson told us this, he had the biggest smile on his face and was so proud of his wife's nerdy yet witty humor. Now trust me, I could be giving many more examples of how Mr. Jackson continued to inspire me throughout the year, but I also know a lot of you are really ready to graduate. By watching him and his wife, I learned that even after being told the worst news that occurred by chance, they put a light on their situation with their choices. Through their wit and humor, they used this time to grow closer with each other and their children. This is what I hope my fellow graduates and I are able to do when we have to face the things we cannot choose. So although this speech is a well-deserved tribute to Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, there are two things I hope you all take away from this. One, focus on the things you can choose. Although many things happen that we cannot control, we can minimize the bad effects by continuing to make good choices afterwards, just like Mr. and Mrs. Jackson did. And number two, try to learn from the people around you. So many people are filled with so many amazing attributes that you can learn from, like I learned from Mr. and Mrs. Jackson. So thank you, and congratulations to my fellow class of 2017.
I always look forward to graduation for lots of reasons, but this year is really bittersweet for me. This year my son Dean sits amongst you. Roughly 18 years ago, when Dean was born, his mother, who's up there in the stands, and I had no idea what we were doing. I think we're like most parents. What now, we wondered. We had all these ideas about what great parents we would be, and what a great life you would have growing up in Petaluma. We had all this hope and anticipation for your magical life, and today we still feel that magical hope now. I was principal here before Dean started as a freshman, and as a father, I've worried about grades, finals, I've cheered on sports teams, attended rallies and prom, in a way that's different than a principal might. I've stood among the parents cheering and proud of our purple. Petaluma parents I found to be loving, kind, and giving, people who care about the world around them and the community we live in. Dean, when you were that helpless newborn infant, we saw the promise of awesomeness. Every parent in the crowd today saw that awesomeness in their child. And today they see you becoming that incredible human being, independent, creative, community-minded, full of ideas and dreams. You're a glimpse of the remarkable future you. Most importantly, don't forget these parents of yours who love you so much. That love gives their lives purpose. Finding people and passions that you love is your ticket to happiness and fulfillment. One final last word, an extended metaphor from an old English teacher. So imagine a long train. Not necessarily the smart train, but perhaps the train from Polar Express, you know, that long one in the winter. At the front, near the engine, are all the parents. Outside their windows, these parents see life flying by. They've seen the good and the bad, the gorgeous and the ugly. And they call this view experience. Way at the back, near the caboose, are the children, the students. Outside the window, these students are seeing the view for the first time, and they are deciding what is good and bad, gorgeous or ugly. They call this view the present. Up front, the parents are desperately shouting back to their children, trying to describe not only what they see, but what it means. But those parent voices are washed away in the wind. For all you students, do your best to listen to the wind. Do what you can to pick out that parental voice struggling to be heard. These parents and grandparents in the crowd have seen the future. They've lived it. They really do know something. Open your ears long enough to hear, and I promise you that your lives will be better for it. That is my guarantee. All right, class of 2017. It is time to graduate. The Petaluma High School graduation class of 2017 and certify that this class has met all the requirements stipulated by the Board of Education.
Mr. Stewart, on behalf of the great state of California, Governor Edmund G. Brown Jr., and the Petaluma City Schools Board of Trustees, we happily accept the certification of the Petaluma High School class of 2017.
You are graduating.